just to see him dancing on the sideline and having fun, and the teammates love him, and he was doing that interview, and they're running by going, "You're the savior, Saquon." I mean, it's one thing to go to a team in the first year and have some impact, but it's another thing to go to the team and be completely a team changer, not just on the field, but in the mentality in the locker room and on the field as well, outside of your play. And that's been what Saquon's done.
It's a 12-point win, but that's surprising because there was 4 turnovers by Green Bay. The yardage was about the same, but the 4 turnovers and the Philadelphia defense, that was the difference.
And injuries. Yeah. Injuries were such a big factor. Getting back to Saquon, you could make the case that, he may be the acquisition of the year and I think he changed the dynamic of that football team. Tied with the offensive line, he's so good.
What about Henry? I can agree with you for the NFC side, AFC side, if you want to put it like that. Henry, are you kidding me? We saw what he does to
the defensive additions for the Philadelphia Eagles, the 2 defensive backs, Zach Bond. Yeah, you look at them. Those additions. Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
Brock, what do you think about the Eagles on the day where they didn't play their best overall, but still won by double digits?
Yeah, I mean, Philly definitely didn't look invincible. They looked beatable at times throughout this game. In Green Bay, they needed to play a sound game overall in all 3 phases, and that did not happen, especially with the special teams. I mean, they had an opening kickoff where they fumbled, and then the Eagles walked in with they didn't walk in, they threw it for a touchdown pass, and then they also missed a field goal, the Green Bay Packers. So that was a 10-point swing right there. A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, they got to get involved more in the game plan if they want to beat whoever they're playing next week. And Jalen Hurts has to step it up in the pass game as well, or else they're going to be sent home next week.
I think they did the game plan they wanted to do. I don't think it was all about explosion with Brown and Smith.
But I look, though, and you would have thought, though, that they probably would have had a little bit more impact because everybody's gearing up to stop the run game, to stop Saquon. And they're physical. Philadelphia is a physical team. And so when you go into this game on any kind of mindset as a team, it's stop the physicality. Show them we're as physical as they are. Let's take their will as much as we've seen them take other people's will on every level of the game. Yeah. So Philadelphia today showed that they're a more physical team. It'll be interesting if anybody can match that going forward.
Yeah. So this game was obviously not perfect ball from the Philadelphia Eagles, but I do believe it was what they wanted to do. Just not, it wasn't executed exactly how they would have wanted it, because I mean, they were 2 for 11 on 3rd down and 1 for 4 in the red zone. So obviously you want to have more success than that. But in terms of the actual game plan itself, this is what they wanted to do. They played slow, and I mean this in a positive way. They played slow, efficient. There was no extra energy, no extra angst. They understood this is playoff atmosphere. We know what we're doing. And you could see the Packers didn't have that. That's why the Packers were getting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties and, unnecessary roughness, all this nonsense that really hurt them. The Eagles did not. The Eagles were like, we've been here before. We know what we're doing. We were calm, cool, and collected, right? Like that's what their mentality is. They just played smart situational ball. Like Tom Brady highlighted it perfectly. That 1 3rd and long play, they just handed the ball off because they were like, we're taking care of the ball. Our defense is playing great. We're not going to try to force the ball down the field and get an unnecessary turnover, an interception, something to swing the game. They took care of business. And that's all they needed to do. And they did take a shot. Obviously, it Hurts and AJ just kind of disconnected on the fake tush push or whatever. But, those things happen. You want to see those plays go, obviously be successful. But I think also just putting that on tape, putting that out there now keeps everyone honest, which I think is a good thing. And it helps the Eagles going forward. Jake Elliott missing an extra point. At that point, now when Elliott, for the rest of the game, you're like uncomfortable. You're like, oh my God, is he gonna make this field goal? Is he not? Like it's a thing. Then you got AJ Brown reading a book. I'll be honest, man, I don't like that at all. I don't care what he's reading. It could be inspirational quotes, Bible quotes. Like that's just not what you do. That's just not what you do. And that's not good. That's bad business. It just is. There's no way around it. But all in all, it was a tight game, but they did have 3 turnovers at the half. And the score was only 10-0, right? Like those, when you are playing a team like the Lions or the Vikings or the Bucks even, like you're going to need to be better. You're going to need to be better. 1 for 4 in the red zone, 2 for 11 on 3rd down is just not going to be enough. But, not all playoff games are going to be pretty. Again, the Eagles defense really stepped up. Again, Hurts played a pretty efficient game too. 13 for 21, 131 yards, 6 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, 111 rating, and again, took care of the ball. That's the name of the game. Because if Hurts tries to force the ball down the field, or they try to get too cute and you get a fumble or a turnover or two, then this is a game that you end up losing. Instead, you end up winning this game convincingly, and you keep the pressure on the Green Bay Packers, and you're just banking on the other team not able to handle it. And this was the game that I said going into this. I said the Eagles don't have to play perfect, and they can still win this game. The Packers have to play perfect in order to win this game. That bared out perfectly, quite frankly. Saquon was 25 carries on 119 yards, 4.8 yards per carry. He obviously could have exploded and got another touchdown, but that's the leadership of Saquon, man. That's leadership. He knows the team's given up. He knows they're done. He knows it's over, and he doesn't need those extra fake yards to him. Like, he doesn't need that, window dressing. And, that's what makes Saquon such an awesome person, honestly, and a great leader in that locker room. And you just hope that other guys follow his, follow his lead in that one. But getting Dotson, getting the opening drive touchdown. Hurts was patient. Like the passing game is there for them. It's just, you have a few disconnections, a little bit, and it kind of then gives this kind of aura of like there's something really wrong with the passing game, or unless you're seeing AJ Brown and Devontae dancing in the end zone and having a box score where it says like 8 receptions for 120, it's people are like, oh no, the passing game, it's all over. And I don't think that's the case. Again, you want to see the Eagles play better football. I made the same argument for the Texans and their playoff win, as well as I guess that's really it right now is really the Texans. And yeah, because again, moving forward, playing again, at this point, I'm making this video before I have any idea who it's going to be, but I guess the options would be, I guess they can't face the Commanders, so it's really only going to be between the Bucks and then depending on the winner of the Rams and the Vikings. So, but all in all, I think this is a good first playoff game. Gets everyone situated. We'll have to see with some of the injuries what's going on with that, but for the most part, relatively speaking, unscathed. And yeah, I mean, it's this is one of those games that I think Philly needed. Because at the end of the day, it was still a convincing win. It wasn't an ugly win. I mean, it wasn't a beautiful win, but it wasn't like they didn't get lucky. They didn't squeak on by. It wasn't like, oh my God, thank God they had the ball in the final 10 seconds and were able to kick a field goal to win the game, right? It wasn't like that. The Eagles were in control of this game start to finish. Even if they couldn't really pull away earlier on in the game like you would have wanted them to, it was still clear that they were in control of the game start to finish from the literal jump. And at the end of the day, that is when you're trying to look at for a team for, in the expectations of them actually like getting to the Super Bowl, winning a Super Bowl, that's at least like the baseline of what you're looking for. That can kind of continue to give that confidence, even if you still reach the conclusion that they want to play better. And even Saquon in his own interview was like, yeah, we got to play better. We got to clean some things up. So, but all in all, still a good victory, and gives a lot of the other guys who don't have playoff experience or even a playoff win under their belt, it gives them that experience, it gives them that taste, it gives them that feeling, it gives them that momentum. And then, yeah, man, the rest will honestly be on really Fangio and Kellen Moore. That's really what I look at it. If you're going up against any of these other 3 teams in the playoffs, it's what game plan is Kellen Moore going to come up? What type of defensive game plan and scheming is Fangio going to come up with? Like, that's what it comes down to in the playoffs. I trust Saquon and Hurts and AJ and Devontae and those players to make plays. I trust them. The rest is, what is the game plan? What is going to be the approach? We saw the game plan in this Packers game, and it was perfect. It was exactly what they needed to stay in control the entire time. And they never got away from it because they knew they were in control. There was no panic. And that's the maturity of a team now that has been there multiple times, understanding, you know what? We don't need to go up by 35-7 or something. We don't need that. We're in control. Just because, Jalen Hurts didn't throw for 300 yards doesn't mean in the fourth quarter that we're going to now just start pushing the ball down the field, because that's what the Packers did, and it was wrong for them. They were a boomer buster run game. That's it. It was launch the ball down the field, hand the ball off. We got nothing. And that's how you get multiple turnovers. That's how you get multiple interceptions. So, you know, you can have a better box score or you can win the game. I'll choose win the game every day of the week, man. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles win over the Green Bay Packers? Are you comfortable with it? Are you confident with it? Did they leave you more or less confident in the Eagles' trajectory this season? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.